What's going on, Chatbot Builders? Ryan here, and today I've got a good one for you. We are live in the studio with one of CBB Nation's favorites. This is an AI and automation expert like you wouldn't believe. This is a young cat, but he's old school already, OG style in this game. And I've been wanting to do an interview with him for quite a while. He's done several CBB videos, and he's very popular in our Discord, has been for a very long time. And I can't wait to learn more about his story and have him share his story with all of you. And hopefully he will inspire you guys. That's the point of this. And also to continue to highlight the best of the best in CBB Nation. And with that, I'd like to welcome to the stage the man, Agustín. What's going on, player?
Hey, good, everything good. What about you?
Every day is good, man. Every day is good. I'm so glad that you're joining us today. Tell the folks a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what got you into
Right.
this crazy world of AI and automation, dude.
Well, I'm a 16 years old Argentinian guy. I'm basically in fifth of secondary school, and I've been into the AI space from the beginning of this year of 2024 in January. And well, I started, yeah, in January. I was kind of like lost until I paid a mentor, right, who basically taught me how I could create useful AI solutions as automations or chatbots, AI agents, and whatsoever. And when I was on this learning stage, I was wondering on what platforms I should be using. I had some pretty damn questions, basically. And well, I discovered through this one guy, Chatbot Builder, and from that moment, I haven't stopped using it because it was like enough for the projects I had to handle, basically.
Dude, first of all, you gotta hold up here. Did you just say you were 16, bro?
Yeah.
I thought you were at least like 26, man. Like, wow, you're doing things. So you're not out just running amok. I remember when I was 16, it was a lot of sports, but the last thing that I was gonna do is work on the computer. I was gonna like play some Call of Duty or something, man. But you're taking that's like a 27-year-old Ryan mentality. You're applying it at 16. You're about to be a billionaire, aren't you?
Let's wait. I
That
hope that.
that's that's amazing. So that's great. So I think that it's awesome that when ChatGPT hit the scene, and maybe even a year or so before, because we were seeing some programs have AI embedded in them, and it was very powerful stuff. And then OpenAI comes around and is like, "Hey, we've got a product now," and then bam, all of a
Yeah.
sudden, it was cool. And well, at least to people like me, I'm a big nerd. But for a 16-year-old to see this, what was it that was like, oh man, this AI stuff and automation stuff, this is for me? What was it that you were inspired by someone on YouTube, which is amazing. What was the thing that was done that you're like, oh, I want to do this?
Basically, about like a year ago, I was wondering on which degree I should study on basically college. And well, first I was with, how do I say it in English? Software engineer, if I'm not
Okay. Yep.
mistaken.
Hmm.
And well, I was like kind of like doubting if I should choose that one or something related with AI because I had that one question to myself when ChatGPT released, and as I was not deciding something that one option or the other one, just time passed by. I and everything that I've just said in the beginning of this video happened. I encountered this guy on YouTube. I talked to him. I had a mentorship, and well, as I have some objectives, I knew that I won't be able to reach them if I go to for through the traditional path of going to college and having a 9 to 5 work and else. So I wanted to come into this entrepreneurship world, and I was like basically I had the responsibility of choosing a business model that I'd like to try, and which didn't need any kind of investment at first because I tried drop shipping. I haven't tried Amazon FBA, but it was like you had in other business models to start with $1,000 or with meta ads or and some other stuff or requirements. And well, I basically saw the opportunity here, and as it is tech, yeah, tech, and it's something interesting to me. I am very keen on it, so I wanted to give it a try, and now here we are.
Man, I don't think you could have made any better choice than what you did. In hindsight now, as advanced as AI has gotten, I mean, not that software engineering will ever go away because it won't, but it'll be done less and less by people. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that knowing that, and then knowing that I'd be in a potentially graduating class of some university with hundreds maybe of other people going after the same job that is going to be slimmer pickings in the future,
Mm-hmm.
this is a scary thought. And so I think you did the brave thing early. And so many people, even including myself,
Mm-hmm.
maybe wouldn't have taken that jump into the entrepreneurship with both feet unless you had to, And so in
Mm-hmm.
your case, it was your choice. And I think moving on your own terms is most always the best way to go about it. So, man,
Agree.
just got to hand it to you. Congratulations. That's huge. And I really had no idea. I knew you were young, but I did not think you were that young. I thought someone was making a joke a long time ago
No, no,
when they
no.
told me someone's age. I was like, no way. But that's amazing. And you've already got clients. So this is not just learning phase for you now. You've had a mentor, you got inspired, and then you
Mm-hmm.
took action, right?
Yeah.
And so do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got your first paying client and any details you want to share on that part of your journey?
Well, recently, some months ago, I discovered, well, I've been taught that there are some levels on these AI business models on the AI agencies space. Well,
Mm-hmm.
first you have the first model, like the entry point, in which you are a freelancer. You haven't landed a client yet, and as you have no experience, you have that certain uncertainty in which you are not sure about what to offer, and basically that. And I think that you have to go straight to these already built AI agencies. First, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you gotta learn the technicisms and the knowledge that you will need to build your AI solutions. For example, you can learn Chatbot Builder. That was basically what I did, including Make.com. And then, once you have that knowledge background, you have the authority, let's say, you have the control, the power to be able to reach to people, asking them if you can work for them. I would say that that is better for you starting working free, so you gain experience, and once you get experience, you will get to know like more use cases in which you could then with your own AI automation agency um, aim to basically. So I'd say that you could do that.
I think you're exactly right. And I think I went exactly the same way. In fact, not only did I do things for free in some cases, I know I lost money because I spent my own money to do things. But I looked at it as I've got to invest in myself a little bit to understand what can be done. When I had a client that didn't want to foot the bill for $50 in Facebook ads,
Hmm.
and I didn't know how to run Facebook ads in 2000, what, 9 or 10 when they first came out, like the year after they came out, I was like, well, I'll spend the money. And that was a risk that I took, and it got me here. I think of it that way. And now I'm looking at someone that did it. That was me when I was 20, maybe, or 21 or something. And now you're doing it at 16, still way, way beyond the average person that is in business. Man, I'm just so impressed by you. And so, tell me a bit. I think you're exactly right. So let me ask you the question:
Yeah.
what would you say to someone, whether they're your age or whether they're in their 20s or 30s or 40s? What would you say to someone that says, "Oh, I'm not doing that for free. My time's valuable. I'm not going to do that." What would you say, knowing what you know now and having clients when other people that say that probably don't have any, but they're trying to get one, but they're not willing to do something for
Yeah.
free? What do you have anything that you would say to that person? I would
Yeah.
love to hear that.
Yeah, of course. Well, basically, if you want to get something, you have to give first. Okay, that's how it works. Basically, you
Boom.
can, yeah, it kind of sounds like spiritually, but it is the reality. Basically, I'm not a spiritualist person. I don't believe like in that stuff a lot. but it is how it is. Like, imagine if you want to get, for example, a certain amount of money.
Mhm.
You want to get $1,000 payment. What are you going to give to the world or to your client, potential lead, or whatsoever in order to get that reward? Like, nobody's gonna give you something for free. So why don't you be that one person? So at first you'll be giving more than what you're receiving, but when the right time comes in, you will receive what you gave before for free. It's like karma.
You nailed it, dude. Are you ever hear of Gary V?
Huh? Who?
Have you ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary V?
No. Sounds kind of familiar, but no, not really.
Man, I'm getting old, man. That's crazy. He's very famous, but put that on your list to check out, Gary V.
Good
But
review.
he was one of the first people that made business and like YouTube video vlog content, lifestyle content, made it famous, and he made it great, and he inspired millions of people, including myself. And he's if you've not seen a Gary V, I'm sure you've seen him, but like especially his older stuff, it's why I'm here for sure. And he's given some really profound advice, some crazy advice. Um, but he's lived everything he's talked about for the most part, I believe anyways. He's one of the few people that are all about it. Like he's like, check my background, check me out. Like I'm not some hype person, not hype. And so he was famous for giving all the value for free, all the agency secrets, all the marketing stuff, all the secret sauce that he's had over the years. He gave it all for free, and so he had all the trust, all the trust. And so I was like, man, this guy's really got it going on. And I think that you are a mini little Gary V without a bad mouth. I guess he likes to curse a lot. I haven't heard you say a bad word yet, so that's good. But he's a really cool dude and inspires so many. And yeah, I forgot exactly why I was going to go in that direction, but that's not uncommon for me. Do you have any people that you follow right now that inspire you that to just do all sorts of whether it be AI automation or just in general? Do you consume content like that where you have like heroes to follow after, or are you just on the grind right now? You're kind of your own hero in a way. Who do you have any followers, or like is there any YouTubers out there that are big time that you like can't wait for their stuff to come out? Or for me, I think in this space there's just so few talking heads at all. That there's just so few real experts. I don't know if there's anybody in the AI world that you would follow, but like in general in business, is there any names that come to mind? I guess you know what? I guess this day and age, it's the Alex Hormozy guy. I bet you're a fan of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's
Well.
totally cool. For me, Gary V was that for this generation is what I've
Yeah.
come to terms. I've not seen much of his stuff.
Uh-huh.
What's some of the so let's get back to the client work. So you've got not just one client, but you've got multiple at this point. Is that right?
Yeah. It's not a lot, but it works. So yeah.
You're only so I think we could probably agree we're less than like 5% of 100% of where we will be with AI in the next 2 or 3 years. And so I think it's so important that you're probably the youngest. Man, that's the title of this whole episode, dude. Youngest AI expert, youngest, most successful AI expert of our time. This is who we're looking at right now. I'm convinced of that. Where do you think you're going to be in 3 to 5 years from now?
Okay, that's a solid question. Well, based on the calls I had with many people who are successful business owners who have
Mhm.
scaled their businesses in up to 10K per month, I'd say that alone, I won't be able to do it. Okay, for myself, I know that if I keep going alone, solo, I will just not be able to do it. So I'd like to in a moment, I don't know when, on how, but I would like to get a team. Okay, someone who takes well basically take that role of some parts of the business. But in 3 years or 5 years, how would I see myself? Well, with a team, then offering a variety, wide range of solutions, maybe niched, probably, or maybe not. I will see. But I know that my knowledge will be increased a lot, like
Oh man,
basically a
you're
lot.
gonna
I hope to
you're
get
on the right path.
I hope to get ahead of like at least the 90% of people on Earth, not only in my
Oh, I
country.
love it. Yes.
And yeah, so I would like to make that entry point as hard as possible for people to be like me and to get into that level that I would like and love to be at. So yeah, I would be very proud of already helping by that time, not only dozens but hundreds, and if I can thousands of
Yeah,
businesses
man.
around the world with AI and automations and this kind of services. Like make a
Man,
positive
I love
impact
it.
on their lives so they can basically live their lives. Because if they are always working, it's not life.
You're exactly right, man. And the thing that you can't necessarily get, as is one of the, I guess, one of the most concrete assets, or not non-concrete assets, I guess it'd be time. And everybody wants more time, including myself. But I'm lucky in the fact I get to choose the time that I spend in any way I want to spend it. But most of the time it is work because I do love it.
Mm-hmm.
But not every business owner wants to do their thing all the time. And that is where AI and automation is really coming into play. Um, for me, I always look. Oh, I just remembered why I hooked Gary Vee in here. Gary Vee's philosophy was basically to give all the value, right? So that's we established that. And then one
Yes.
of his biggest pieces of advice, that's the most simple thing in the world, but it's the most effective thing in the world. And I would challenge anyone to find something more effective than this piece of advice, and is just to care about your customer, care about what it is that you're doing and what it is that they're getting. And so for me, I never, ever, ever in my entire career wanted any month, because I was always on a monthly reoccurring deal. I never really did one-offs ever. And my deal was, I want to be the easiest bill to pay in the month. That doesn't mean to be the lowest bill by any means, but it's going to be very clear to that client they're getting far more value than what they're paying me. It's not even it's a no-brainer. And going about things that way, I mean, it's only been success, luckily. And I think digital marketing has been such a profitable and lucrative space for so many small teams to individual entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
freelancers, or consultants. I would call myself a digital marketing consultant for many years because I was a one person show and I didn't have a team. So I never wanted to call myself an agency. I always thought that was kind of weird. But
Mm-hmm.
Wendy, actually, I'm sure you know Wendy.
Yeah.
We hooked up and got together because she knew bots so well, and she was bilingual. And I saw, okay, this is going to be a really good opportunity because I don't know Spanish, and I'm like too dumb to learn this language at this point. And I've got AI and Siri and stuff to help, but like really, you need someone that speaks other languages. And so she fit the bill perfectly to do what I was doing with the marketing agency stuff. And as soon as we got like really rolling,
Mm-hmm.
and then as soon as really CBB took off, we're like, holy cow, we got to get more people. And so as soon as we hired our next person, shout out Brian, actually, it really started kicking off. And I was like, oh, okay, we need more people now. And then what I found was, I think it was 7 full-time people. It changes the entire dynamic of your business when you don't have to do every single thing. Even if you want to do every single thing, like so much of my time, I wanted to do everything. But
Mm-hmm.
then when you let go of some things and you let other people that are really good be really good at what they do for you and with you, it does change everything. But I will say with AI, you
Mm-hmm.
don't need a team of 100 anymore. You don't
No.
need 50 people a lot of times. I think a good core number in today's space be between 10, 25 people, because again, the more people that you've got to take on, the more money you're splitting up, which it can go really quickly. When you have a team to think about one thing you might not think about right now is like, how much money do you want to pay them? And so when you like want to be proud of your salaries that you offer, and the more people that you've got, man, where's that money coming from each month if you want to do it the right way, the way I see it? And so that said, you got to have people, and you can only get so far, I think, by yourself. So you're just so smart, man. Your mentor told, if you learned all this from the mentor, he did you really well. I can tell you, you got some good value if this is what you learned, because it is beyond business classes in a university. I've got my degree, and I
Mhm.
learned far more outside of college than I did
Mhm.
when I was in college, for sure.
Yeah, probably.
What would you give as far as advice to someone? There's so many people in CBB Nation that are new to the game. We get new people every day. Thank you. Thanks to everyone that has joined us. And it can be frustrating. I'm sure you got frustrated in some
Yeah,
make scenarios and CBB flows when you
yeah,
know what you want to do and it's not working exactly like you want it, but then you figure it out, right? It's frustrating until you figure it out. What
yes,
would you
of
give
course.
advice to someone that's new, that's just like you? Maybe they're in a different stage of their life, but they're like, "Ugh, I want to be in AI and automation. I just don't know what to do, or I don't know what direction to take." What advice do you give them?
Well, first of all, it is possible. I know that this can sound bad, all right, because it's like everyone tells you, yeah, this is possible, and else, yeah, you can do it, or whatsoever. But I would say that first, it's not impossible. Okay, you have to concentrate on the key points that are going to get you from point A to point B, and
Mhm.
I would personally recommend you to start trying by yourself, making some projects. For example, automations with Google Sheets, Notion, the basic stuff, and then you can create a chatbot for customer support, an e-commerce chatbot with CBB or etc. And well, then about how to get clients, as now Ryan was saying, and Alex Hormozy too. This one guy that I forgot his name, honestly. Basically, give all for free your secrets. Give your secrets all for free, because then what you will be paid for will be for the implementation, because you are giving the ideas. And although you might think, because I did it, I thought, should I stop uploading and sharing my YouTube videos, because I'm basically teaching how to do what I'm doing now, so people will be able to replicate myself and could rob opportunities away from me. But chill, don't worry about that, because in fact you'll be placed as an authority, you'll be known by people, and as you are giving all that value for free, they will probably, because I had some messages today that were telling me that were so grateful for what I did on YouTube, and basically at one point when people are going to give you something back, but basically it's upload YouTube videos, tutorials, experiences, and then something that I think that is very important that I learned from a mentor. I had three mentors, two together and one separated. They taught me that there is a logic called design thinking. You probably have heard of it.
Mhm.
uh, that you first focus on the problem and not on the solution. You don't fall in love with the solution before getting to know full in depth, deep down with the problem, because there's no sense on making a solution for a non-existing problem.
That's exactly right. I mean, I think that's probably the one advantage that someone would have if they were a little bit older than you, that have had, not just school experience, but other, like, workforce experience. For example, because I have worked in hotels and restaurants in college and then, a couple of years after, I
Mm-hmm.
understood deeply the pain points that those businesses faced. And then with the technology side of things, and shout out Kelly for showing me the way,
Mm-hmm.
and my knowledge just through experience with social media, I was like, okay, wow, I know the problem to solve. These people suck at social media. They have no idea what they're doing, and it's going to be very expensive to hire an agency that's going to take them on these projects in a local market. It ain't going to happen. And so I was a social media person before that was like even a thing, right? Running ads is like the year that they were able to be run, which you got so much for more for your money back then. I just remember spending $50 and being able to hit everyone in the area like 5 times. in my area where I wouldn't go near as far now. And I can just say, man, I think that everything progresses, and you've done like I can just see myself in you, and I can see Gary V in you when I'm listening to you and talk to you. You're doing all of the right things, man. I know you said you weren't spiritual. That's okay. I'm gonna literally be praying for you now every day that you just continue on the right path, man, because temptation is gonna happen too.
Yeah,
And I've warned people about this, and it always happens. Temptation's around the corner all the time. The more successfulness you get, the more people are gonna be jealous because they'll want to be you, and you're gonna have haters, and
they have.
you'll never. You have haters already.
Yeah, 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 online and physically. Yeah.
Oh man, well that's no good, man.
Ah,
Um,
it's okay. I mean, they are expressing themselves with their insecurities on me. So they're basically revealing
it's
themselves.
always pretty. You'll never find someone that's doing better off than someone hating on someone that's doing worse off. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's just the way it is. Like the people that are doing great are not going to hate on someone that's not doing as good as them. You know, it's just so when you get those haters, you just got to know, like, oh, obviously I'm
yeah.
doing better than you, right? I'm glad that you recognize that. I used to have a really bad temper when it came to those sorts of things,
Hmm.
and as I've gotten older, I've gotten past that. But man, you're just so mature for you. I definitely was not as mature as you when I was 16. And I used to think I was in high school. It was like I was always friends with the older crowd, and wanted to always be mature and business like. But man, you got me beat for sure. You're like a young Zuckerberg, man. I hope this interview lives forever so that when you are the AI Elon Musk, you'll remember me. I remember you back in the day, one of my
Yeah,
first
of course.
podcasts.
Why not?
I hope so.
If you gave me the opportunity of using Chatbot Builder, I mean, it's not the fact that that I'm saying this because I'm here with you and Chatbot Builder and all this stuff, but really, I mean, your platform, your SaaS, your software, is like so simple to use, and it's like so user friendly that everyone can learn how to use it, and that's so good.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
so happy to hear that.
that's the most
It
important
makes me
thing.
so happy, man.
No,
I
really.
think some people they're just they are with me. It's like it's like veins into me, like as extension to me. Like I do it in my sleep, you know. And I dream of making new features all the time, or what's the next integration we're going to bring. And there's so much. We've downsized a lot. I'll show you some secrets when we're offline that no one knows about that I think you'll really like. That might give you a little advantage too. Sorry, but you're doing the interview and you're the one that's doing it. You're the youngest expert. You deserve it, a little bit advantage if I can give you one. But once you get it, you get it. I think that um, traditional programmers and developers and software engineers are not good with AI traditionally. And I can tell you this because I know many of the John Wicks, like my dad, to the
Hmm.
folks like I would call you a Chat GPT developer without even knowing any of your true skills there. There's a big spectrum.
Hmm.
And I think that the way that to go is AI. You've picked the right path and you've done it so quickly. So I think there's been a combination of timing, a little bit of luck, but you've just done your research. And so getting back into the research, so I've heard you say make a whole lot, but I haven't heard you say Zapier, for example, or Pabbly, or there's N8. There's a bunch of there's
Right.
several now.
Yeah.
What makes you, is it just because that's what you started with is make and you just stuck with it because you don't want to fix what ain't broke? Is that pretty much the case there?
Well, Zapier, I think that if we compare Make with Zapier, I think that what you pay, I mean, you pay this amount of money, okay, and you get this quality. How can I here? Yeah, you pay
Mm-hmm.
this and you get this with Make. Well, with Zapier, you're paying this and you're getting this, okay? It's like I'm not saying that it's not
This is the
worth it.
viral moment right here, by the way. So this is such a okay. First of all, I want to make sure we really capture this because this is the moment, dog. Can you just tell for those that don't know anything you're talking about or what I'm talking about? Because we get those people, they want to learn, but we're talking like
Uh-huh.
because this is a conversation, right? We're peers at this point, but I
Hmm.
want to be considerate of those that don't know the programs. They just
Okay.
happen to find us because we're Chatbot Builder, and so I want to say, can you explain what is Make? What
Yeah.
is Zapier and what do they do? I think that's the thing that people are gonna love, man. Please tell us.
Okay. So I have these objects
Oh, I gotta
here
get you on here. This is gonna be
to
excellent.
explain you. Well,
Yes.
uh, Zapier, N8N, or Make.com are platforms that let you automate processes without using code, or at least like so minimal part. Well, the logic behind is that you have a trigger. Okay, you have this blue thing,
Mhm.
a trigger which starts like it's the reason why then the whole scenario will happen, will be triggered. Then you have another part, which in which you can select an application. For example, I don't know. Let's say the trigger is a new row updated or a new updated cell in Google Sheets. Okay, every time a Google Sheet cell being updated will be triggering all this path. Okay, then once this is triggered, something will happen in another application on it or on it same application. For example, in Google Sheets. Let's say, for example, every time this one a Google Sheets cell gets updated, we'll be sending an email. Okay, now this is sending an email, and then um, after we send that email, we'll be adding that one person into an Airtable CRM, for example. It's basically that. So we have a
Mhm.
trigger, we
And
have a middle part, and then we have the result.
that is a really good explanation, and I can like see the make nodes as you do that. I can just see them invisibly right there. I just see the connections and the big circles snapping. They when they came out with that flow builder, I was in love with it because they didn't used to have you didn't used to be so good.
Didn't
Quite
it?
honestly,
Really?
but it's so nice now. They've got one of the best ones, I think. It could be a little better on mobile, but they have so many integrations. It's, I mean, when you're dealing with that much data and it's so fast, it's an I mean, it's so impressive what they've done, and they are much cheaper. That was what a lot of people, including myself, we gravitated to make in the early days, even if it wasn't as maybe smooth as Zapier, whatever. But it was so powerful and it was so much cheaper. I
Yeah.
think they've had some price increases here and there, but they should. They deserve it, and it's not unreasonable at all. And what he's talking about, folks, is when say someone calls in a place or they go to a website and they fill out a form. A form is a great example.
Yeah.
So they go to the website and they fill out the form. Well, traditionally, what will happen is when you get a form, maybe it's a Google form, form facade,
Tally.
Tally forms. We love Tally forms at CBB. This I think they're a great small
Yeah, they're
entrepreneur
really
company.
good.
They're crushing it too, and their product is excellent. You know, it really is. Um, when a form comes in, traditionally, all what happens is you get it sent to an email. Someone just filled out your form. Well, if you're like most people in the world, you're getting 100 emails a day. Or if you're like me, you're getting 100 every few minutes. So like it's hard to even understand what's going on in your email. I've got to get a program in my inbox to really help me out one day. But what he does, guys, is when that form comes in, the information that's in the form doesn't just live in the inbox and like pray that someone sees it. Instead, he's sending that via Make. That's the trigger. The form's done. That's the trigger. So Make wakes up and then Make says, okay, Augustine's has taken this data. He said, push it over here and then do this with that. So it could be something like the data comes in, and then the next part is once it's there, send an email to the client, send a text message reminder to the customer that we got the information. We get everything's good. Your form has been submitted, so now the customer feels more confident. You've alerted the admin, and maybe you put it in Google Sheets too for a backup, or like you're saying, then you throw it into the Airtable application so that then the big flag sitting there looking at him in the face. Hey, you got things to do. Something
Yeah.
happened. You're right. This is so valuable. And if you do this, you will become so invaluable to that business. You're what I call a utility at that point. You're a utility bill, just like you got to pay the electricity bill. You got to pay Augustine's bill. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay that AI bill. Otherwise, a person's going to have to do that. And people don't work 24 hours a day. Not
Yeah.
even me. You know, you don't work 24 hours a day and you're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes. The automation
One.
it'll hardly ever fail. And I say hardly ever, you can't say perfect yet, maybe, because nothing's
Hmm.
perfect. There could be outages, but it's 100 times more effective than an individual, like a person, you know.
Yeah.
And for you to have found this out and be interested in AI and automation at your age, and to be doing so well at it, you've gotten multiple clients, dude. You're I'm literally looking at you're like a cross between Elon Musk and Zuckerberg himself, and yeah, the hoodie is so Zuckerberg, but man, you're like you're put together, dude. You're gonna be famous, man, and I'm super honored that you're with us. Let me ask you: did you ever try any other chatbot platforms out there, or did you only you tried CBB and that was all you needed? I would
Well,
have to say, as well versed as you are and smart as you are, you probably tried at least one or two other ones, or at least a little bit to see.
yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, being honest, first when I started, I tried with BotPress, but it was kind of like difficult to me to understanding
It's
it.
for developers, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to understand it, and basically I was looking for a simpler platform. Well, then I tried with VoiceFlow. Now I mean, now from this point, if I get to go back to these platforms, I would probably understand it how it works. But when you are a beginner,
I don't know, man. Even now, I'm telling we do it so differently, baby. I promise you. Yeah, I would say go try. I would never say go try because we love you at CBB, but I would tell you what we can do in 1 hour. These
yeah,
the two that you've mentioned, it will take a team 2 or 3 weeks to get close.
yeah, yeah, and something that I've noticed when I was analyzing again these platforms is that, well, at least BoldPress is like, I'm not gonna say that it's so linear, but it doesn't have that dynamic part which AI brings. That is basically like the value of AI, and that's the
Hmm.
point of all of this. Because if it's
Exactly.
that simple, why are we gonna use it? Well,
Exactly.
and then now I've recently tried ChatSap. That is another app. But well, basically, what Builder makes possible is to make a fast implementation, and then if, of course, if you want to get into something deeper, you'll have to spend more time. But something great that it has in the marketing part is that you can grab your client or leads website, and you can create a demo basically in 10 minutes or less.
Instantly. On
That,
your
that
phone even.
Yeah, 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 of course. Yeah, sure.
I'm glad you get it. I'm glad some people just get it. Some people the business owners that we have, and we love them. They barely ever talk to me because they don't need me. They just fill in their auto GPT and they're pretty much done and they're happy and they know that everything's going to work on across their channels. But it's
Hmm.
pretty basic what they make in general, but it solves so much of their problems. Many of the bigger money folks out there that really know what they want, but they don't have time to build it, they have no interest, and that's why they want chatbot builders to
Hmm.
do it for them and AI experts to do it for them. You can do everything from getting something very quickly done to solving things fast and on the go to making very complex things. Some people think that just because it's so easy, and we are ranked number one on G2 for easiest chatbot software in the whole world, number one for easiest.
Hmm.
If they had a category for most powerful, we'd have to win that too. And I think that with the community that we have, starting with our youngest person here, definitely our youngest customer, definitely our youngest co-creator, and definitely one of the smartest people I've talked to on a podcast so far this year. I can say with certainty, all the way up to our older OG members that are the John Wick developer style folks. That I love talking to you guys. Sometimes it's like talking to my dad. He's an OG like that. I think that we've got the best people to tell me what to do every day. Tell me what to add, tell me what sucks, tell me what's awesome. I
Okay.
think that I've done a pretty good job of
Yeah.
listening, and bringing stuff fast that's possible. I know everybody wants TikTok, but I still haven't seen that API for messages yet. But you're going to be one of the people, hopefully, that you know you really influence the way that our entire roadmap's going to go, because the way I see it, you could be one of our longest running partners. I mean, I hate the word customer. I don't ever look at things that way with CBB. So I
Hmm.
look at things as a partnership in a way. So I hopefully you're going to be one of our longest running, most successful partners of all time. And, we'll might be a little piece of your equation or a big piece, but we'll always have your back, and anything that we can ever do for you, man. It is you just as a DM away from me, Asta, Kelly, Wendy, we will always have your back. I know
Appreciate
Wendy
it.
was excited about this interview too. We appreciate you, man. There is indeed a lot of software that you could use these days, but I think the community that we've got and the people that are in there is far more valuable than anything else out there. I think everyone's just so cool, especially you, from our youngest to our oldest member. I'm checking into our questions here. This has been such a good conversation.
Hmm.
Um, let's think. Here's I think one last question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most exciting part about what you've done so far, and what do you think you're excited about for the future? Besides the team, because I know we went over the team, that is going to be pumped. Let's pick one thing that's already happened that you're just like, oh, this is my favorite story so far. I would love to hear that, and then maybe something that you hope will happen in the future. You've got to have like a favorite moment so far, like an aha moment, or something. Or maybe it was the first time you got the client, but I want to know like what's going to inspire us as we jump off this podcast for the day.
So you mean which scenario I would like to be at thanks to AI?
Well, it could be or automation. I want to kind of like end on an inspirational note, man, because this whole conversation has been inspiring to me, and I just
Thank
like I can't, I want to just follow you on every platform that you're on, and like get
you.
an alert every time you say something now because I'm so intrigued. But so far in your journey, and
Hmm.
maybe it was your first client, maybe it was the time you got your second, maybe it was a make scenario or a CBB flow. What was like something that you just got, ooh, I got to tell people this was just so awesome to achieve? Or did you have a struggle that was like, oh, this took me forever and I finally figured it out? Or has it all been pretty easy for you? Because that would be interesting as well. If everything's been kind of smooth, that's not the
Hmm.
typical way this happens. I mean, even I get frustrated on a daily basis when I can't do
Hmm.
this or that or something has changed. But I always feel good when I get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got some frustrations some time ago. Of course, it's like part of the process,
It is.
but something that's been interesting was that, well, the other day I had this encounter with a client, and in the at the end of the reunion of the meeting, I asked him what was he thinking about the service I was giving him, and he told me that it was great. Like, and these
Yeah.
words, yeah, really, and these words, although for some people might sound simple or normal, it gives me like the indication that what I'm doing is really making a positive
Chills,
impact.
dude. I feel you. I know the feeling, man. It's like
Yeah.
when you can get when you feed off the emotion of happiness and like gratefulness of other people, it just makes you want to do more. And that's the way it makes me want to do. It's like as soon as I've done something for someone, like, all right, what else can I do now? You just made me feel good, and
Mhm.
that's a secret sauce. I think doing good for people makes you feel good,
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
and you're helping their business, helping their life. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and like the best part was when I was like reflecting about this, and I said like, well, I did it for me. I mean, this couldn't have been made. I mean, I needed some platforms and etc. and some other external factors, but I said, bro, I did this by myself. I mean,
Exactly. You did
it's
screw
it's
the
crazy.
platforms, dude. You're the one that did it. The tools don't matter. Okay. Let me here put it this way.
Hmm.
There's a lot of famous architects and home builders that build masterpieces for homes, like for celebrities and stuff, right?
Hmm.
Do you think they give a crap about what hammer and nails that dude uses? Or do they care about the end result product? There's a lot of carpenters out there. There's a lot of construction companies out there. They all use equivalent equipment, but they don't always produce the same results, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the tools don't matter. and I'm the owner of a very cool tool, but it doesn't matter. What matters is what is being produced. What's the end result? Okay. And that's why
What
I'm
can
so
be done?
big on the community. Right. And like you can have the best hammer or the best platform, but if you don't got the best people to use it, you're not going to be the best. And so
Hmm.
that's why, unlike everyone else, we're focused on our people. We want to highlight them. Let's hero them. You're a hero to me right now, dude. I swear on everything I love. This has been such a good conversation. And like all you're making me want to do now is sleep less and work more because you're going to pass me in like the next year or so. And we'll still be your partners, but the way you're going, man, golly, I'm going to be your biggest fan for a long time. I think that's what I got to say to you.
That's funny because I remember that months ago when I started and all of this, I was watching your videos. I mean, I learned from you and from the team. Yeah.
I might be working for you one day, man. Straight up, you like you said in the beginning, it could happen. Nothing's impossible anymore, is the way I see
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And I think you've had a super amazing journey so far. It's really just got clicking well. If you're an OG at CBB, man, you're the youngest OG in AI and expert, AI and automation game, as far as I'm aware. You're really doing it big, dude. Any way that we can help you, any way that we can support you, you just say the word, dude, and we got your back. I'll make sure that we can get you some like CBB swag. We'll get you swagged out for the free and have you rep and get you a prompt engineer hat or something like that. It's time for you to make your own brand too. Get your own gear. I'll buy stuff from you all day long, straight up. Do you have any last words before you jump off of here, man?
Well, just take action because you can listen to all these 15 minutes long video or podcast. I don't know where you're hearing this from, but take action. I mean, there's been like so much information, if I'm not mistaken, being liberated. I don't know the verb. So choose what best fits for you, what makes more sense in your case, apply it, and take imperfect action and massive.
Man, you're a dude. I don't even want to get off this call, dude. This podcast, whatever it is, this is just hanging out with a co-creator to me. But you're gonna inspire a lot of people. This will go on YouTube and Facebook and Asta will make a lot of shorts for. But man, you are gonna go so far, man. I'm gonna literally, like I said, pray for you. Don't get in no trouble. Don't let any distractions come your way, dude. Because man, if you stay on this path and if you continue on this path, you will rule the world, dude. You will rule everything that you want. And I'm just a little bit ahead of you, but I guess quite a bit. I'm old now. Everything is possible. There's not even things that I thought would never come true or never be a thing.
Hmm.
I found out there are levels to this. There are massively different levels to this, and most people, they're not going to get to where you already are. Unfortunately, they're not going to have multiple clients. Maybe they'll have one, um, but they might not go near where you already are in a couple years. In a couple years, you're going to have so much work. We'll probably never be able to talk because you'll be so busy, which happens. But I'll always be here for you. You don't need Ryan anymore. Just use the tools, which is fine. You've not. I don't recall you ever really asking for help. I don't recall. You're just a go getter. You figure it out yourself, guys. If you're not following him, follow him everywhere on social. We'll make sure that when this video is released, you can look in the description below to follow him and make sure that you keep up with what this guy's doing because I know I'm going to be, and the whole AI and automation world should be, and they will be. That's a fact. Augustine, man, I appreciate your time so much. And hopefully this
Thank
won't be the last time. Hopefully we'll be able to do this every
yeah.
so often. We need updates from our youngest CBB person and the youngest CBBer in CBB Nation. We got to have monthly updates from you, bro. So now I'm going to put the pressure on you. You think about what day in the month you want to give us an update. And I want to, if you're willing, I think we should share more of your story, even if it's a shorter time, at least once a month and give everybody an update. So then there's no excuses, guys. If there's a 16-year-old already got multiple clients, bro, there's no excuse. None. That's it. Well, man, thank you so much. And
Thanks to you.
we'll have you on again soon, okay?
Thanks to you for
All right,
taking the
man. So,
time.
guys, thank y'all so much. That dude is the real deal. I think I perked up right after he said something that just said, man, this dude, as soon as he said 16, I didn't even know that. I knew he was a young cat. I thought he was like 26. Man, they don't make him like that. You guys have got to follow this guy. Be sure to join our Discord. You'll catch him in there, usually giving advice at this point, and our Facebook group. He's there as well. CBB Nation is a real thing. He's proof of that. He's the youngest one, the youngest AI and automation expert that I've ever come across. And I know quite a few people in this space, but that dude is legit. Thank you all so much for watching. This kid's 16 years old. He's going to have 1,000 videos by the time he's 26. He'll be Elon Musk or Zuckerberg rich. I'm sure of that. I'm sure that in a few years, I'm going to be hunting for this video just so I could see, oh man, see, I told you I knew him. He was a podcast guest back in 2024, and that dude's like the richest man in the world now. So much fun. Thank y'all, CBB Nation. We'll see y'all later. Peace.